Coming back from the break, it's called the Business to Business Network Show. My name is Rex Perry, host and creator of the show. If you ever hear something, want more information, you can contact me through my website, 123bz.com. My phone number, my cell phone, you can text me. My email's there, 123bz.com. Again, our guest is Fay. Introduce yourself, please.
Hey, yep, it's Fay from Fast Relief Fund.
Fast Relief Fund. And we're talking a little bit about the history of Palestine.
That's right.
And what happened even before 1948, but a lot of people don't even know the history of 1948. President Truman was the president at the time.
Yeah.
Interesting little historical fact. He was in the clothing business. And his partner was Jewish. I don't know if you knew that. And they were very close friends. Mm-hmm. And so in 1948, it was after World War II, the Cold War was really heating up. The Soviet Union was offering to recognize Israel. Truman, under different types of pressure and decision, decided to be the first to recognize Israel.
Yeah.
And then there was a war in 1949. Was there a major? Tell us some of the history there.
So I really hate using the word war. When it comes
conflict,
to Palestine.
whatever you want to call it.
It's a genocide. They're massacres.
Okay.
The Nakba, literally, it means catastrophe in Arabic. 700,000 Palestinians were uprooted from their homes, and hundreds and thousands. I mean, since the inception of the state of Israel, millions of Palestinians have been killed.
And a lot of people don't know these Palestinians welcomed the Jews in prior to this thing.
Yeah. So let me walk you through that a little bit. So, but prior to 1947, Palestinians had their own stamps. They had their own airport. They had their own, they have, I actually brought you a gift from Palestine.
Oh, wow.
It's a olive oil soap.
Oh, cool.
And it's called the Nabulsi, and this olive oil soap has been part of Palestinian tradition, this same company, since the 10th century. And this is actually very well known, this olive oil soap. So people will say, well, they weren't there. They're actually Jordanian or they're Lebanese. And it's like, no, they're Palestinians. They're Canaanites. They've been there for thousands of years. And they actually preserve the church where Jesus Christ is born. Yeah. And if you want to know, if you're a Christian and you support going back and visiting those holy Christian sites, then you should support the Palestinians, because the Palestinians are the Christians that live in Palestine and occupied Palestine. And so in they had the Nakba, as I mentioned, which is called the catastrophe. That's what that word means. It was the first genocide. And then they had 1967, and it just goes on and on and on. And, I think I sent you a list of massacres.
Yeah.
Right? And the list goes on. There's like over 30 on that list. Yeah. And right now in Gaza, we're seeing one of the biggest, largest genocides. And you really can't speak up about it without being called an anti-Semite and being labeled.
Which let me separate that out, because I think that the Netanyahu government in particular is guilty of genocide.
I disagree with you.
Okay.
Because what you're doing is what a lot of people do. I call them Zionist light. And so what they like to do is they like to blame Netanyahu. And you'll notice that a lot of people say, oh, Netanyahu, he's bad. No. There have been so many prime ministers prior to Netanyahu that have committed those massacres, that list that I sent you, right? And all of them, every single prime minister of Israel is guilty of expanding the borders, stealing more Palestinian territory, and massacring Palestinians. And so Netanyahu is just the guy that's been in power for a really long time.
20 years, I think.
Yeah, right? And they can't get rid of him. And whenever they do try to push him out, he has this false flag and, the Palestinians just did this and we're now under attack and Jewish lives are no longer safe. And it's like, no, that's not what's going on.
Help me with a little bit of history also here. During the Clinton administration, we had Yasser Arafat and
the PLO. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the PLO.
Mm-hmm. Palestine Liberation Organization.
Yeah, anytime we use those
acronyms, we got it right. And it's Palestine Liberation Organization.
Rabin, I think, was the prime minister, yep. And they were in Camp David, and they were. Do you know the history there? What happened? Because they were coming close to having some sort of two-state solution. Do you know any of the history that happened there?
I don't even like to discuss it, and I'll tell you why. A two-state solution is unfair. It's like you steal my house and say, well, let's split it in half. That's not fair. I want my whole house back.
So you're suggesting that all Israelis leave the Middle East?
I'm suggesting that Palestinians are in control and they get their land back. If somebody moves into your house, do you suggest that they leave?
Well,
No, it's a question.
no,
I want an answer.
no,
No?
no.
You want that person to stay and live in your house with your wife and your daughter
Right,
and your
but
kids?
Okay, but this doesn't really apply
It
to
does
that.
apply.
Okay.
They literally moved in and lived in Palestinian homes. There's thousands
No, I know.
of videos. You can look them up yourself.
Totally know that, and that is true.
So what you're saying is, well, there's 77 years of occupation and genocide, and the people that are committing the genocide should just stay, even though it's actually gotten worse. The last 2 years in Gaza, there is an estimated 680,000 killed. That's a genocide. They're starving them. They're sniping little children in the head. When do you say enough? The Israelis are done. They're cut off.
Okay.
How many Palestinians, Lebanese, Syrians, Yemeni, Iraqis, Kuwaitis need to die for you to be happy and to say, we're done? These Palestinians deserve peace. They deserve their land back. They deserve their freedom, their liberation. They should not be under their occupiers.
Okay, but is it really rational to think that you could get all of the Israelis to leave the Middle East?
Oh my, do you know anything about the Algerian history? 132 years of occupation. The French were forced to leave. Think about that, 132 years. Every single French person went back to France, everyone. Because after 132 years, the French were like, these people are never going to stop fighting us. Never. We're never going to be safe. And so finally, the French left.
The French had a country to go to.
So do all these Jews. They all came from somewhere. They came from Poland. They came from Morocco. They came from, absolutely.
I don't think that's realistic, though. Is it really?
What are you talking about? They came from somewhere. You just asked a question and I answered.
But I'm trying to get reality here.
Yeah,
we
reality.
got 2 minutes.
Do you know how many settlers that are in Hebron are just Americans from New Jersey and New York?
Well, I'm saying we're going to talk about that because we're going to talk about the invasion of the West Bank. We're going to talk about different boundaries. We got a break for the news at the bottom of the hour. You have a website. We want to help raise money for starving children. How can they help?
Yeah. So we're going to put down the link for the website and for the Give Butter, but
in the YouTube.
On YouTube.
You got it.
And then my phone number is 623-259-6881. That's for our charity.
One more time.
Sure. 623-259-6881. And if anybody would like to reach out to us directly, or fastrelieffund@yahoo.com.
Excellent. We got a break for the bottom of the hour. We're going to do another 2 segments with you, and we want to get into because there's got to be some path for peace. There's got to be some compromise. There has to be, because we're all human beings, and believe it or not, this planet is a lot smaller than we realize.
We're not on right now.
No. Well, what we want to do is break for the news. Everybody, it's a business radio show. Stay tuned. We'll be back after the news.